everybody. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to all of you. I'm in the kitchen. That's right, I am cooking. I have food on the stove, I have food in the oven, and I want to share with you some details about a wonderful partnership that I have with iFood TV. It's a collaborative effort, and I'm so excited to share with you some of the highlights of that partnership. But can I go ahead and just share with you what's on the stove and what's in the oven right now? Come on, I'll show you.
Now what you're looking at is an updated version of my grandmother's sauteed collard greens recipe. She used a lot of ham and a lot of bacon to make the flavor. Put it in a skillet, and then she would add freshly washed collard greens. And that way she could just simply cover it, and the steam would create what we call pot liquor. Okay, who knows what pot liquor is out there? Send me a comment. Now, I was taught to cook dressing, not stuffing, in a well-greased cast iron skillet. And to this day, that part around the edge, that crispy part, that's my favorite part of the dressing. And my holiday dinner just wouldn't be complete without mashed potatoes. I pour in my cooked potatoes a little bit at a time. And then just before serving, I place them in the oven for about 10 minutes.
Okay, now I honestly could be further along with my holiday meal if I would just stop tasting everything, but you just can't help it when you have good food in your home. You just can't help tasting it, right? Okay, guys, let me tell you a little bit about iFood TV.
Now you can download the app for iFood TV on any of your electronic devices that you simply love to use. Now I prefer to do the Roku streaming stick. It's perfect for the small flat screen that I placed on my kitchen counter. And while I've tucked away all of the cookbooks, it keeps the surface nice and clean. It was easy to install. I simply plugged the stick into the HDMI port on my TV, and of course I connected it to the adapter, and basically it found my actual wireless network for me. We entered our password, followed the instructions on the screen, and setup was done. I've already added iFood TV as one of the channels that I love. It'll appear on my homepage along with my other favorite channel, which is Amateur Decorating Like a Pro. Now you can see my new brand right there, the green chair. Once you click onto it, all of my videos will actually be there for you. So if you're traveling, please take me along with you. Now you can create your customized playlist or just search by shows, dishes, ingredients, methods of cooking, healthy, cuisines, and a few others. Now this time I selected method and then barbecue, and a host of channels appeared. So I can select barbecue styles from the pit all the way to the palace. Now this time I selected healthy recipes, and as you can see, there are a variety of channels to choose from. You can also scroll down and you will see cancer preventive, carb free, cholesterol free, complete meal, dairy free, diabetic, eggless, fat-free, gluten-free, high carb, high fiber. And keep in mind, your stick keeps track of what you recently watched and your favorites. Now this holiday season, every time that we went out to dinner, I've ordered pumpkin cheesecake, no matter what. So I decided that I would just make one at home. Make a pumpkin pie. I put in the letters PU, and up pops all of these recipes in a variety of ways, whether I want to eat light or whether I want to go just regular pumpkin pie. So I continue to scroll and I run across a recipe entitled Black Walnut Pumpkin Pie. And that's what we're going to make. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we Southern cooks always season to our taste. So I had a few modifications. I had 1/2 teaspoon of ground mace and cloves. I had 1 entire teaspoon of ground ginger, grated nutmeg, and cinnamon. I used 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. I also used 2/3 cup of coarsely chopped black walnuts. You're only going to use 1/2 of that in the actual pie, and then you're going to actually place the rest of it on the top. And of course, I use the entire can of pumpkin puree. There's only 15 ounces there. And 3 eggs lightly beaten. 1.5 cups of half and half. And lastly, I purchased pie crust that was ready to be filled and baked. Now I preheated my oven for 400 degrees. However, I did not bake the pie on 400. I baked it at 385. The prep time for this entire recipe was about 15 minutes, and that included the chopping of the black walnuts, which are to be toasted. However, I didn't bother to toast them. They were delicious the way they were. Now, I just love the convenience of using this store-bought pie crust, as my grandmother would call it. I am simply prepping it to be pre-baked for about 7 minutes at 400 degrees. Now, I'm using a glass pie pan, so I don't have to use any non-stick sprays or anything like that. Next, I take a fork and actually prick the actual bottom of the pie crust. All you're simply doing is making sure that air will circulate during the pre-bake process. The next thing that you do, which is something that I learned from the chef who prepared this actual pie, is she put down a layer of aluminum foil and dried beans. Then place it in the oven for about 7 minutes or until it was lightly brown. The actual beans keep the pie crust from rising up during that process. Next, add the rest of the ingredients into a mixing bowl. First, I placed in my lightly beaten eggs, and then I added the light brown sugar. I allowed that to mix for a while because I just wanted the brown sugar to be very well dissolved. Then I added the pumpkin. I scooped it in a little bit at a time. Poured in the half and half, added the cloves, mace, ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon, and the smell was amazing. Once my mixture was nice and smooth, I added in 1/2 of the chopped nuts. Poured the filling into the crust, sprinkled the remaining walnuts on top, and placed it in the oven. And of course, I baked at 385, not 400. Ah, that looks so good. I did that because my oven can get a little bit hotter than most ovens. Now I baked my pie for 45 minutes and I allowed it to cool down completely before slicing into it, for the sake of this video of course, and adding a small scoop of vanilla ice cream. And it is delicious. I wish you could taste it.
Guys, this is so good. This is so amazing. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. As they say, the proof is in the pudding. I'm going to say the proof is in the empty plate. And it was absolutely delicious. I'm in big trouble. I've already had a slice of pie before I've had dinner. So what else can I say? Guilty. But next year I'm going to be cooking light. I promise you. That starts in January, and I hope that you'll join me for that. So check out iFood TV. Subscribe to it, follow it from streaming or on the internet. It is wonderful. You got over 40,000 recipes and constantly being updated by those participating channels that I mentioned earlier, and some new ones as well coming on board. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. I want to say happy holidays. Enjoy your dinners and your family. Make lots of memories out there and have a wonderful, wonderful new year. Okay, I've got to psychologically say thank you.
Now, as you guys know, Amateur Decorating Like a Pro loves a good furniture hack, organizational ideas, decorating DIYs, and now eating healthy. So join me for some of this fun starting in January and February 2016. Click the red button and subscribe today. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, Google+, iFood TV via Roku streaming.